President Trump issues a 90-day pause on tariffs, sending the market soaring. Fox News confirms it. Watch as they read his post on Truth Social right here.
Moving markets right now is a brand new Truth Social out from President Trump. The Dow is surging now up 1,500 points on this. President Trump has just put out a Truth Social saying, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the U.S. to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called reps of the United States, including the Department of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the U.S. And here's the big news grabbing the headlines. I've authorized a 90-day pause, capital letters, and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. He finishes with, thank you for your attention on this matter.
Trump told you this morning it was a great time to buy. Did you listen? If you did, you're rich.
The markets right now are extremely good.
The stock market had its best day in American history. The president announced he's pausing reciprocal tariffs for 90 days on every country and dropping all tariffs to 10% on all countries except China. China just got hit with a 125% tariff. They're the only country that lost, and they lost big. And that's the point. China never picked up the phone. Instead, they retaliated. The rest of the world, our allies, wouldn't stop calling.
These countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything, sir.
Trump created maximum leverage for himself, and now his team's sitting pretty, taking meetings and doing deals that put America first. And if we don't like how the negotiation's going, our partners have seen the kind of pain we can cause, and they're motivated to do what we want, or else we'll make them feel the same pain.
Which leads us to our next story, where Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox News that they have over 75 countries coming to the negotiation table as a result of the 90-day pause in tariffs. Let's see what Scott Bessent had to say, and pay close attention to what he says about China.
We've given 90 days, and the only certainty we can provide is that the U.S. is going to negotiate in good faith, and we assume that our allies will too. And in terms of certainty, we will see what China does. But what I'm certain of is that what China is doing will affect their economy much more than it will ours. The rest of the world now understands, because when we put up our tariff wall, those exports were already flowing to the rest of the G7 and to the global south. All this was driven by the president's strategy. He and I had a long talk on Sunday, and this was his strategy all along. And that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors, and we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate. It wasn't a hard message. Don't retaliate. Things will turn out well.
Kind of makes you wonder if China was the end game all along, and were they goaded into retaliation for tariffs, knowing that they probably wouldn't back down as a result of America putting tariffs on them? It makes you wonder, was the art of the deal in play there? The deal maker in chief, President Trump, did a whole lot during tariff pauses. I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. It almost makes you proud to be an American. For me, it does, absolutely. So when I saw this clip about a group of soldiers singing the Star-Spangled Banner in an impromptu move in the hallway of a government building, I had to watch. It was amazing. Check this out.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's
How great was that? Everybody was harmonizing and in key. It was a great sight to behold. Honestly, if somebody is that skilled, it makes you want to watch it over and over again. Feel free to rewind it and play it. I know I did. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you find value from this video, please buy us a cup of coffee. We would deeply appreciate it. And for those on TikTok, please don't forget to like, follow, and add this video to your favorites. I would deeply appreciate it. The director of Economic Council, Hassett, had this to say to Fox and Friends about countries issuing their own trade deals or trade proposals after the 90-day pause in tariffs. Let's see what he had to say.
I can tell you that we've already got offers on the table for more than 15 countries. 15 countries.
Great.
Now, that doesn't mean there's a deal, but it means that you've heard the much larger number for people who call and they want to talk. But there are specific offers on the table. I've been informed from USTR of about 15 countries right now. And so this is moving fast. The thing that I joked about when we said the 90-day pause is that we're going to go around the world in 80 days and have 10 days of rest. That's our plan.
And Trump is moving at a breakneck pace. According to even CNN, he's issued the most executive orders in the last 100 years. The only one who compares to him is President Truman. If you don't believe me, watch this.
I think there was this concern among some folks that Donald Trump would come in for a second term and kind of be a lame duck. He ain't no lame duck. If anything, he's a soaring eagle. What am I talking about here? Let's talk about Trump executive orders in 2025. He's already signed 111 so far. That is the most at this point in a presidency in at least 100 years. In fact, it's the most in any single year, and we're only in April, since Harry S. Truman in the early 1950s. The bottom line is whether you like Trump or you don't like him, you can't say that he's come in and not try to deliver on what he at least believes was his promises on the campaign trail, and he's doing so in historic fashion.
How are people reacting to and feel about Trump's approach?
Yeah, okay, so Trump's approach here, what are we talking about? Trump's approach to presidential power. I think the American people recognize what he's doing here is completely different. We're talking, get this, 86% of the American public believes that Trump's approach to presidential power is completely different.
And while the Republicans and some center-left people or independents alike are proud of what Trump is doing, Democrats do nothing but complain. Yet they felt the same way about tariffs back in the day. Watch Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have the similar idea about tariffs than Trump. Watch this.
Donald Trump is now in retreat because Democrats in the Senate and the House and the American people have said, stop playing games with these tariffs. You think it's a game. You think it's like red light, green light. It's not. It's chaos. And the damage you have done already, despite today's announcement, is permanent and real and deep. You're throwing our whole economy out of kilter. You're telling business people and consumers to not spend because they don't know what the heck is coming out next. What you're doing, Donald Trump, is hurting the American people as you play games. Whatever pops into your head the next hour, the next day, the next week is what you say we're doing with tariffs. And they constantly contradict each other, make no sense, harm the American economy, and worst of all, American families.
It says to the Chinese, enough already. It says to the Chinese that their unfair trade policies have got to end. It says to the Chinese, this is a shot across your bow. Reform, because if you don't, there are going to be dramatic consequences throughout the world, in our country, and in your country as well. The bottom line is very simple, Mr. President. The Chinese have enjoyed a huge trade surplus with the United States, as this chart shows. Every year, it gets larger and larger and larger. But much of that trade surplus is because the Chinese don't play fair. They don't let our goods into their country. I can tell you company after company in New York who cannot sell goods in China. Chinese make no effort to prevent the ripping off of our intellectual property.
Jobs, this is the biggest and cruelest hoax of all. Not only do we not have market access, not only do they have prohibitive tariffs, not only are our exports not let in very specifically, But China benefits with at least 10 million jobs from U.S.-China trade.
The hypocrisy is crazy. It's okay when Democrat elites want tariffs to happen, but far be it from me for the Republicans to actually act upon that, and for someone to have the actual intestinal fortitude to go through with it. America first, and he is a president for the people, that's for sure. Here's Trump's response when he was asked about this very thing, how Schumer and Pelosi were for tariffs back in the day, but all of a sudden they're having a problem when Trump actually executes it. Let's check it out.
Nancy Pelosi, they've been talking about tariffs for decades. How come when these Democrat elites want tariffs, everything's hunky-dory, but when President Trump wants tariffs, all hell breaks loose? Do you see this double standard?
I love this guy, whoever the hell that is. That's really nice. I appreciate that question. No, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, everybody knew you had to do it, but they never had the guts to do it. It does take guts. It even takes guts for our country to go through it. That's why I say be cool. They were saying about, just be cool. It's going to work out. It's going to work out, and it's working out. I can tell you, working out maybe faster than I thought. But I said it's going to take a little conditioning. It's a transition to. I think it's a transition to greatness. It's going to be greatness. Our country is going to be. There'll be nothing like it. And people investing in our country, they're going to do better than they've ever done before.
Which leads me to the ending question of this video. Do you think that Trump is doing a good job? Do you think that these 90-day tariffs were ultimately to goad China into a bad position with global trade? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Angel for the Vasquez Report. See you next time.